Well, we're starting here tonight with a lady named Sally Kurtz, who is catching her first Atlantic blue marlin in the Dominican Republic with me at the Marlin University. She was trying to catch her Royal Grand Slam, which is all 9 species of billfish. And you can hear me telling her to crank, crank, crank. And we almost sunk the boat right there. The big wave that came in when we were backing up into the sea. But Sally got the release on that blue marlin. You'll see in a minute we catch that fish again. And she was well on her way. She had already caught a white marlin on that trip, so she just needed this blue one to get her white and blue. And her next one is going to be a swordfish, and she's going to go out with Ray Rocher and try to get that. We, as you can see, we put a lot of water in the boat for some reason. I don't know why, but
maybe because you had a big hole in the transom.
Yeah. But we eventually get the leader on the fish again right here, and it's about 150 to 200 pound blue marlin. And I just want to tell you, this lady is a great angler, you know, and it just goes to show you anybody can catch a blue marlin and anybody can catch a fish. It doesn't, you know, ladies aren't at any disadvantage when it comes to fishing. As a matter of fact, they're probably at a big advantage because they listen to us when we try to tell them what to do.
All right, speaking of listening, why don't we grab that inshore rod? You know, one of the things that I thought would really be cool over here at the workbench this week, Dave, is to talk about, this doesn't have an gender specific, this has nothing whatsoever to do with that. But what we need to do is we need to talk about how we pull rod angles. So Bree, if we're fishing inshore, we're catching, you know, trout, snook,
fish you can put some heat on.
Basically, you can put that rod under your forearm, bone fishing permit. So the key to this, though, guys, is if you can keep all of these guides straight. Remember, the rod tip is actually made for for casting. The back part of the rod, Dave, as you know, is certainly made for fighting the fish. So, Bree, by you palming the reel, it actually keeps these 4 guides straight. And anytime you do that, you're eliminating the tip, which is really designed for casting, and you're pulling from the fat part of the rod. Now, Dave, if we take a bigger rod, an offshore rod, Bree's got her belt on. Bree, put on your little harness there.
Okay.
And so what we're going to do...
Every boat should have a shoulder harness like this AFCO shoulder harness on it. And it doesn't matter if it's for boys or girls. Like we said, every boat should have a shoulder harness that you can hook up.
Get into the belt. And the great part about this is, again, guys, this has nothing whatsoever to do with your gender. What this has to do with is pulling rod angles.
Right.
And I think it's just great that we're using Bree because certainly Bree is small in stature. But look at this. Now, this is what's so important.
Don't let go.
See how she's using her legs. The key is by using the legs, she's using her weight. What do you weigh, Bree? 112?
Yes.
108, whatever it may be.
90.
It's a lot more.
The key is, and look, by turning sideways, turn a little sideways here, Bree, look at how the back is straight, and she's using her fanny and her legs to lean back. It's no different than skiing, and the fish becomes our power boat.
What you have to remember, too, is that you're a retriever. You're a line retriever. You're not a winch. Nobody can winch a 200-pound blue marlin to the boat just by cranking.
Right.
It's a team sport. The man who's driving the boat has to put you on the fish, and you have to know when to crank. If you don't look at the fish and you look at your reel and you crank when the thing stops pulling out, that's when you're getting line. When you stop cranking when he's pulling that line out, because if you're cranking while he's pulling and you're pulling and he's pulling, all you're doing is working out.
Dave,
you're not doing anything.
Show her how to retrieve the line. I'm the fish. Now, Bree, if the fish is going to the right, which way are you going to pull?
You always move to the fish. Actually, when you're in a harness like this, you have to stay pointed straight at it. Otherwise, the torque, you're fighting the torque. So what you're going to want to do is you're just going to be lifting straight up, straight back, and then when you go down, lift, 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 and then when you go down, you crank. You crank, 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 and then lift up, and then crank down. When you go down.
I've got a 300-pounder on the end of this.
300
kidding. It's all muscle, don't worry.
But just to reiterate, for kids or ladies or anybody with poor upper body strength like myself, it's a good idea to have a shoulder harness and a good belt.
I like it.
Work what you got with.
That's right.
Work what you got with.
Work what you got with.
There you go. You're free.
Work with what you got. There we go. I can see it.